So let me start by saying I understand. You haven't got time, you're building an empire, and everything that you spend your time on needs to give you a return. Self-care, well, that seems a little fluffy, wishy-washy, indulgent even. Watch this video for my story, how ignoring self-care could have killed me, and how you can make it the priority it needs to be in your life. For the best blogging tips and advice, subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video every single Monday. So I'm going to share with you my story so that you know why I'm talking to you about this today and why you should listen to me as well. So let's dig in. So I know how hard it is to decide to do something for yourself. You're running a business and there are loads of things you'd probably like to do, but the business tasks keep on adding up and your to-do list gets longer and longer. So the exercise, the drinking water every day, and all of those other self-care things can kind of get pushed to the side, and that's exactly what happened to me. We might put things on hold just for this launch. We stop exercising, we're probably not eating as well as we could, and we're quite stationary, poring over our laptops trying to make this launch happen. After all, we'll start again when the launch is over, won't we? Although sometimes it doesn't happen like that. So running your own business can be really all-consuming, and it can be really, really hard to switch off. Those hobbies that you used to do, you put them on hold and you don't do them because you're really focused on trying to make your business work. And everything that you spend your time on feels like it needs to have an ROI. Until the pain starts. It started with a niggling pain in my ribs and then progressed to a pain in my shoulder as well. To cut a long story short, over a few hours into the evening and through the early morning, the pain progressed and got worse and worse and worse. I swung between thinking that I was only going to be able to leave the room that I was in an ambulance because I didn't understand how I'd be able to walk out of there, and then not wanting to wake my young daughter up because we all know how that goes in the morning. So I waited and waited till 6 a.m. and then my husband took me to hospital. And to cut a really long story short, I'd suffered from a pulmonary embolism, which had been caused after lots of tests. They found it had been caused by a deep vein thrombosis in my leg. As the first sign of a pulmonary embolism for some people, for 25% of people, is actually sudden death. This was actually really scary. So obviously it wasn't the first symptom for me, but it really did hit home how serious this was and could have been. So how did I get there? Well, I worked from my couch a lot in the same position. It was much more comfy to work from my couch, so that's where I was. I used to fall asleep at the couch at my desk, and I could be there for hours. I would put off breaks. I would just try and get this thing done, and over time it didn't do my health any good. You see, you never know when your wake-up call's going to come. You might think that self-care is a fluffy luxury, but you never really know when you're going to get your wake-up call. It won't happen to you. No, I thought it wouldn't happen to me either, but I could have died. So people say all the time, and I hear people saying, I just don't have the time for self-care. And if I'm honest, I've probably said that many times before. And I don't know how to say this without being really, really blunt, but have you got the time to make sure that you stay here, for your children and for your family and for your friends? Because I never thought that would happen to me, but it did, and so it could happen to you too if you don't look after yourself. As the quote goes, if you want something enough, you'll find a way, and if you don't, you'll find an excuse. And it just comes down to prioritizing what is actually really, really could be a matter of life and death. So I think typically we love the idea of self-care. We love the idea of the self-care that involves getting together with a friend and going to a spa for the day. That seems really nice, probably a bit indulgent, but nice. But the day in, day out self-care to make sure we're moving enough, that we eat well, that we're getting hydrated, that we're giving our brain breaks, that's the hard self-care. That's the self-care that doesn't seem as fancy, but that is the really, really important self-care that you need to make sure you are doing on a daily basis. So is any of this resonating with you? Do you struggle to prioritize self-care on a daily basis? I would love to hear your stories in the comments. So how is self-care going to help you? Well, apart from preventing a nasty embolism, it can help you in so many ways. So you can get much more mental clarity and your mental health will improve by having more regular breaks. It doesn't really do anyone any good to be so focused on one thing. And so by having a break, doing something that sort of fills your cup back up again is really, really going to pay dividends. You will actually become more productive. There's lots of research that shows that when we work past, I think it's about 55 hours a week, we're not producing anything after that point. And so taking regular breaks means that your creativity can be revitalized and you're actually going to be more productive. So I hear lots of times people saying, I've tried to do self-care and include it in my daily routine and I can never stick to it. And it really is a case of prioritizing it to make it important. You don't know when your wake-up call is going to come. Hopefully never, but you don't know that. I thought the same. I thought it was never going to happen, and it did. So it just proves that it can happen to you too if you're not careful. And so here are a few tips to help you prioritize self-care and include it in your daily routine. So have the best start to the day that you can have. We've all read things like the Miracle Morning and followed lots of people that have amazing morning routines. Speaking as a mama, I'm never going to have a morning routine like this until my daughter leaves home when she's 18 probably. And so you just have to have the best morning routine that you can have. It might not be possible for you to do an hour of journaling and an hour of exercise before you switch on your computer for the day, but maybe you can fit in 15 minutes before the kids get up to have a hot drink, to sit outside if it's good weather and just clear your mental baggage and get prepared for the day. So the next thing is to brainstorm the activities that make you feel calm, fulfilled and rejuvenated and refilled, if you like. So what are those activities? So just get a pen and paper and just do a big old brain dump, whether that is reading a novel, whether it is Skyping a friend and having a chat with them, whether it's going to a coffee shop, having a walk with a dog, whatever it is. Write down all of the things that you love to do and that always make you feel calm and centered and a little bit more like yourself, and build those into your day. So if it's, for me, I live far away from my friends, so it might be a 10-minute Skype chat every couple of days with a different friend, just to make me feel back to how my very, very best. And make sure you're building these into your day. Which leads us on to the third point. Make sure you schedule self-care. If you don't, you know what's going to happen. It's going to pass you by, the day will whiz by and you won't have done anything. And you'll be going to sleep a little bit stressed, probably not very calm, and you'll have missed the opportunity. So schedule it just like you schedule an appointment with a friend or a business client. And then the fourth thing is to make time by saying no. If you're a people pleaser like me, you kind of want to say yes if it's at all possible. But saying no is so important because it frees you up, frees your mental headspace, and it actually opens a door for better opportunities and opportunities that are more suitable for you. So if I always think if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. And also I think of sometimes things in the future can put us off a bit and we can think, well, I'll say yes because I'll probably want to do it in the future. But if you imagine the opportunity was tomorrow, would you still want to do it? If no, then it's a no, however far away it is. So really be strict with what you say yes and no to. The fifth point is to get ready every day. So we've created these empires where we can work from our pajamas and from our couch or sit around in yoga pants, and that is great, but it doesn't really do your mental well-being any good to be like that. So make sure you're getting up every day, that you're having a shower, that you're putting on clean trousers, even if it is more yoga pants, but just make sure that you're starting your day, because you will be more productive, you will be more switched on, creative, and you'll just feel more accomplished for the day even by just getting ready. And the last point is to give yourself a mental break. So we all have this negative internal dialogue that goes around. Why didn't I get to inbox 0 today? How come it took me so long to write that blog post? Oh, I didn't get through all the invoices. And it just turns into a cycle of negativity. So stop now, give yourself a break, realize that things happen in our day that we didn't plan for. And sometimes it means that we don't get everything ticked off our to-do list, but acknowledge the reasons why that didn't happen and just give yourself some grace, because you will feel a whole lot better about it if you do. So please start taking care of yourself right now, today. Make those changes that could have a significant impact in your health, your life, and your business. You might think it will never happen to you, but that's exactly what I thought. So if you want to join a community of women just like you, I run a secret society where I share up-to-date blogging and biz tips to help you turn your blog into a business. I'll put the cards up and you can click through to the Mompreneur Revolution. We'd love to see you on the inside. So if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more videos every week. And if you have any questions, pop them in the comments below and I'll be along later to answer them. See you soon.